He'll lose that and then there'll be hell to pay.
Nicola, how are you today?
I'm very well, Adam. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Well, you can hear I'm great, absolutely wonderful, full of cold, and I mean emotionally traumatised because we've both played a game called Blackwood Crossing, which you have reviewed for godisgeek.com. First of all, what kind of game is it? Because I suspect anyone watching this has never heard of it.
Narrative-driven, story-led game. Walking simulator, which I don't really like the term, but that is essentially the kind of game. It's like if you've played Dear Esther or Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. It's that kind of game where you're moving around a world and sort of following a carefully woven tale.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yes. I had no expectations of it at all. I'd seen a few trailers for it, but I had no expectations going in, and I was really quite moved by it, actually. Towards the end, the final sort of act, I was really quite taken with it. I think there are a few niggles with it, a few like sort of technical issues with it, and I think you've had something similar where the prompts for, maybe conversation or to pick up an object, that prompt window is a bit tight at times, so you sometimes miss it. And I've also got a few minor issues with the voice acting at times where it just feels a little, not forced, but not natural. But all in all, it's a wonderful tale of sort of grief and acceptance and guilt and all those sorts of complicated emotions between two siblings.
Did you find it weird in modern video games to have like a fully British cast? Because I thought it was done quite well. That's what I was going to say. Because I think often like a British voice actor stands out because it's either badly done or just out of place. Whereas I actually think this, I never felt that. I don't know about you. I felt it works really well.
Absolutely, but I think that's partly down to the environments that you're moving about in, because you've got the train, haven't you? And the way the train's set up is the trains that I remember as a child with the separate carriages. The little compartments that don't have anymore. I haven't been on a train like that in many, many years. So that kind of felt familiar. And then the sort of the pastoral kind of other areas with sort of leafy trees, a tree house, and then a kind of green island, a sort of summer island type thing. That all felt very English anyway. So the cast being exceedingly English it never stood out. It was just sort of accepted and there. But I know what you mean. Sometimes we're so used to hearing an American accent, I think that when we do hear the clipped English tones, it sometimes stands out, but not at all with this at all. No.
I was going to say that the only problem I actually had with this game is one I think, or I suspect anyway, that if you played it on PC would be completely gone. So and I'm not going to go into spoiler territory because I think it's almost one of those games where it's just like, just go play it. Don't even watch the rest of this. Don't read anything. Just go play it. But I found it loads at inopportune times. Like there was one scene where one of the characters was saying something and it literally cut to a loading screen, and it just it doesn't so much tear you, it doesn't so much pull you out, it ripped me out. And I'm not, like, again, minor complaint, because I'm not going to lie, by the end of it I was in bits. Like, this is a very, very, as you said, moving game. But I found that I just reckon on PC the loading would be minimised just because it's on PC, and I just found some of the times it loaded, it's like, oh god, if you could just technically tighten this up just a tiny bit, like it would go so. I don't know, did you experience any of that at all?
No, I'm actually surprised by that. I certainly didn't have loading that would cut off speech from one of the characters. Between sort of acts or stuff, yes, the loading is slightly longer than I would have expected. I mean, particularly in that it doesn't seem a particularly graphical or technically heavy game.
Definitely.
So yeah, the loading is a bit lengthy, but I certainly didn't have anything where any of the dialogue was cut off by loading. That would have upset
That was only
me,
once,
think.
I should say, but it was quite an important moment, and it was just, really? That seems like it's cut in just 2 seconds too soon. And the only other thing for me, again, really, this is like proper nitpicking. The character you play as, does she have kind of a strange walk?
Yes,
or is
very.
Okay, it's not me.
It's like she's a geisha and she's wearing a really tight skirt. Yeah, no, but again.
Oh, it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, it's kind of irrelevant. But
it.
yes, I did notice. I mean, there's a section, isn't there, where there's a bit of an emergency on the train, and you kind of need to sort it, and you're just like walking at such a pedestrian pace. And
can I have a run
like,
button, please?
Seriously?
Just for this. Yep. Exactly the same for me. Like, can I? Surely, there's a run button for this bit because But then I think thematically that it makes sense that she's not running. Getting spoiled. But to be honest with you, like I said, there's for me nitpicks. But I'm more because I'm just trying to stretch this video out so we can talk about the game.
Well, of course, there's a very surreal aspect to it, anyway, isn't there? I mean, if you watch the trailers, there's kind of a supernatural element to it. And a kind of absurdity to what's going on. There's lots of people in masks and. It seems quite a kind of creepy, actually. The trailer gives it a kind of creepy tone to it.
The trailer makes it look like a horror game, I think.
Yes, it does. It really does.
I don't think I'd class it as a horror game.
No.
Not really.
Not at all.
It's not a horror game at all, really.
No, not at all. Like I say, it's more of a study of grief and guilt. I thought guilt was a very strong emotion in the game as well. But grief, not just about the loss of somebody. I felt very strongly about, like the grief of somebody growing up.
Yeah.
And
I totally
the pain associated with that, which I thought that angle was very interesting.
I completely agree.
So I've played through it twice, and actually playing through it twice, the ending part of it hits you even more, to be honest,
really?
Because you know what's happening, and some of the other interactions between yourself and the other characters have that much more resonance now because you actually know what the tale is about. So it's the second playthrough for me had more of an emotional impact than the first playthrough.
That's cool. I mean, I totally get what you're saying about like the growing up part, like because I do think a lot of people in their lives have like almost a click, a light switch on moment where you go from being sort of young to an adult, and I do think it's interesting. But I also I want to sort of finish this video by saying this is literally a game we got a trailer for in like our inbox, and just that trailer, this looks interesting, and we covered it. Nicola played it, and I would never have played it, but her words were so strong that I played it, and I guess. I'm hoping that people will watch this and then they'll, because there's a lot of big games out, This you said it in our company Slack channel where you said like it's a bit special.
I think a bit special.
Hopefully people will get that from what we've said and what they've seen. What they're seeing is very early in the game. It's impossible to have no spoilers for a video on this game because it's all narrative. But hopefully people go away like I did from listening to you and play it because I do think it's one. Yeah, it's one worth playing, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's a very good game. Very thoughtful game.
Yeah. I'd be honest with you. Like I said to you, it's been a while since the game's left me in bits like that. And it's a very slow emotional build to the payoff, and it's very strong, very strong. But that is Blackwood Crossing, a game I keep nearly getting the name wrong of, actually, weirdly. You can follow us on Twitter. You know where that is by now, obviously. And if you've got any questions, you can ask Nicola at @wavy_gravy and at God is a Geek. So thank you very much for your time, Nicola.
Thank you. No, you're very welcome.
And we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.